motherfucker?
Hold up, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
That are in those training rooms with us. But now we're gonna get a good. I thought he was a con artist, just based off his look. Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room. Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. Got a lot of things to talk about today. Had two NFL games yesterday that had been pushed back because of COVID, which was kind of nice. That we had two games on Monday, two games on Tuesday. Don't have a game tonight, but then we have a game Thursday. So it basically made for football all week. Only days there isn't going to be no NFL was today and Friday, because you have two games on Saturday again this week. As the Colts play their second Saturday night primetime game in a row, they'll play against the Arizona Cardinals. We'll talk about that. Eagles beat the Washington football team last night. We'll talk about that. The Rams was able to beat the Seahawks last night. We'll talk about that. There was some controversy with the referees with the no call on a pass interference at the end of that game. We'll get into that. So we got a lot of different things we'll talk about today. But before we get started, don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Come join us for that show. We're giving out winners. That show's live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're also live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern with GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room. That's our sports talk show. We usually have a couple other guys that are in here with me, have good conversations about the big news and topics in the sports world. So come join us for that live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Also, you can find GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room and Easy Money, a sports betting show, in podcast form on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Gonzo'S Sports Room. That's where we post all the information about our shows. We post our daily picks from Easy Money, a sports betting show on there. All of our interview announcements, just any show announcement gets posted on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Check out our YouTube page as well. It's at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Also, we have, I think, close to 30 interviews with independent pro wrestlers on there. We have 5 or 6 full live pro wrestling shows that we've done live commentary and streaming at. There's a lot of different things on there. There's a lot of UFC stuff. So go check out our YouTube page. Please hit that subscribe button. Also hit that bell so you get notifications of when we're live. So you don't miss out. And if you're watching on Facebook and Twitch, we appreciate that as well. Please hit that follow button, the like buttons. On the podcast, rate and review. We'd appreciate it. We appreciate all the support we've been getting for the first 7 months of doing this. Couldn't ask for more support and a better start, I don't think. We do have a big show announcement about this upcoming year on Christmas Eve this Friday at 1 p.m. And then we'll go to during the 1 p.m. show on GSR at 1 o'clock this Friday on Christmas Eve, we will have our announcements. We have a couple big announcements about stuff coming up in the new year. So make sure you join us Friday for that. Well, also January 15th, we'll be doing, I'll go ahead and announce that. We will be at DCCW for their January 15th show at their new home here in Muncie at the National Guard Armory. We will be live for that. And then on January 29th, we will be in Bloomington, Indiana for MPG Wrestling, our comeback. They have a good card scheduled for that. James Storms will be there. James Storm will be there again. Chase Stevens is going to be there again. It's going to be a good card. So make sure you join us for them two shows. And then we have a couple other big announcements coming up. So make sure you join us Friday at 1 for that. But all right, let's get into some stuff today. Last night, Seattle against the Rams. Seattle's down, driving, trying to get tie the game up. Russell Wilson throws a pass. I believe it was DK Metcalf. I might be wrong, but receiver goes up to catch it and just gets clobbered by the cornerback before the ball gets there. Receivers running into him like the ball's kind of underthrown. Receiver's going back toward it. Cornerback just runs into him. Clearly hits him. Clearly hits him, and clearly hits him way early before the ball ever gets there. No flag. That was on fourth down. No flag. So Rams get the ball. Game's basically over. It's terrible. It's almost as bad as the one that didn't get called in the playoffs against the Rams against the Saints a few years ago. It almost makes it look like the refs wanted the Rams to win that game. It's something has to be done about these blatant calls like that. You have replay on all this stuff, but on a call like that, a pass interference call that could very easily change the outcome of the game. Think about that for a minute. It's a call that could that in the last few seconds of a game that could change the outcome of this game, and we can't review it because you can't review pass interference. We can review all this other stuff all game long. We can review the spot of the ball, if it was a catch or not, if it was a fumble or not. You automatically review turnovers now. Why can't the people upstairs that automatically review turnovers, why can't they automatically review a pass interference call? When there's a play like that and it's a blatant miss by the referee on the field, why can't when the referee's that's up top, that's watching all these videos at different angles, why can't they buzz in that referee's ear and say, no, that was pass interference? Or they say, hey, let's take a look. You need to take a look at that. But no, we just say, oh, ain't nothing we can do about it. And then today the NFL probably send Seattle a note, or not no email, or there'll be a press release that the NFL admits that the referees missed that call last night and that they apologize. But it don't fucking change anything. And that's ridiculous. I mean, I can imagine how the players and the coaches feel. I'm just a fan of sports. I'm just a big football fan. And it makes me mad because that's why the NFL and other sports get these raps that they're rigged, is when you see calls like that. That was just a blatant missed call. And I understand, hey, I've umpired baseball for 15, 16 years. I understand there's going to be calls missed. You're not going to get every call 100% right. We're humans. There's going to be mistakes. But we have checks and balances throughout the rest of an NFL game to try to make sure that there's not calls missed. You can challenge a call. And at certain times in games, under 2 minutes in the game, the referees or the booth can automatically review a call. But why within the last 2 minutes, the booth can automatically review something? There don't have to be a coach's challenge. Why can't the booth automatically review a pass interference call that could very easily change the game? That would have gave Seattle first and goal not first and goal, but first down at the 15 or 20 yard line. Would have had a few shots at the end zone to try to get in the end zone and tie the game. But no, instead it's Rams ball. It makes it look like the game is rigged. And then you have a lot of upset fans and a lot of upset players and coaches. And that's all that gets talked about today on national media is how the NFL and referees fucked that game up last night. That's all that's going to get talked about today and probably a lot tomorrow. You're going to see it on every national sports show on TV. You're going to see it on a lot of YouTube and you're going to hear about it on a lot of podcast shows, a lot of YouTube shows. It's going to be what's talked about. It's bad publicity for the NFL. And it happens every year. Hell, like I said a few years ago, you had it cost the Saints from going to the Super Bowl. It gave the Rams a ticket to the Super Bowl and cost the Saints. on a call that everybody knew was blatantly missed and was a wrong call. And everybody bitched and complained about it for 2 or 3 weeks, and the NFL still hasn't changed anything. And when I say everybody was bitching about it, not just people like me that's on a YouTube channel and talking and like sports, or not the national media on Fox or ESPN or NFL Network or FS1, whatever you look, or CBS Sports, NBC Sports, whatever national radio show or TV sports shows you listen to. Everybody was pissed off about it, and it changed nothing for the NFL. Now we're in the same situation this year. This wasn't a playoff game, but these December games are almost just as much as playoff, or mean almost as much as playoff games, because this is when you decide if you're going to be a playoff team or not. This is where you separate the contenders from the pretenders. It's when you find out who are the teams that are going to be in the playoffs. And if you're getting calls like this in December in them games, you know that there's going to be a big call missed in a crucial moment of a playoff game. And then you're going to have the same situation you had, because NFL still hasn't put some kind of check and balance, some kind of rule in there to prevent missed pass interference calls like that deciding games. And I'm not saying, nobody can say that they're 100% sure that Seattle would have won that game. But Seattle would have had the chance. And they deserved that chance, because that was a blatant pass interference penalty. And then in the other game last night, the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Washington football team. Washington football team is just decimated by the COVID that's running wild over all the sports world, and not just sports world, fucking over the world. But I mean, NFL has had like 75 to 100 players that have tested positive. Most of them have been asymptomatic, and most of them have been guys that were vaccinated. Washington had both their top two quarterbacks were out because of COVID. They were in so they started a quarterback that they just brought in on Monday, Garrett Gilbert. You have the Chiefs that are missing 7 players on their COVID list so far, including Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. So the Chiefs could be missing, and that number seems like it's still going up. So the Chiefs could be missing some big contributors and big time players going into their game this weekend against the Steelers. But the way it talks, I mean, Adam Silver got on there yesterday, said the NBA has no plans into pausing the season or anything. Basically said this is something new. COVID is going to be around for now on. It's something that we're going to have to learn how to deal with, and what's the safest ways, and how we can still keep going on, because you just can't. This is going to be a virus. It looks like it's going to come back every year during certain seasons. It's going to be, I mean, it might be around all year, but it's going to be more higher rates of people getting in higher risk, and probably like the colder months. And it's something that as a society, we're going to have to learn to deal with, just like the flu. The flu, you have flu season every year. Well, it's going to be like that with COVID. Yes, COVID's worse than the flu, but with these vaccinations and everything else, hopefully we can contain it where we can still live our lives like we did before COVID. We can go to football games, go to concerts, be able to gather with friends, and be able to gather with friends and have a good time, not be isolated to your home for a year, however long it was. That basically they were telling people to stay at home, not have contact with people, don't celebrate the holidays with family, and all that. We have to get back to the new normal. Yeah, it's not going to be the old normal, but it's going to be the new normal. But we have to find ways where we can still do the things that we used to do. What's the safest ways? We're seeing that most healthy people are not high risk if they do get COVID. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people that are high risk, and that sucks. And you have to take all the precautions that you can for them people. But yeah, COVID's running wild right now in the sports world, in the NFL, and the NBA. I think hockey went ahead and kind of paused their season until after the holidays. But NFL and NBA are saying they're continuing. NFL only has what 3 more weeks, and then we'll be into the playoffs. So this is the time of year. NFL is not going to, unless they're just forced to somehow. They're not going to pause the season because, they're in their home stretch. They have 2 or 3 weeks left of the regular season, and then they got the playoffs. And hell, you're here in about a week. You're only going to be a month away from the Super Bowl. It's hard to believe that the football season is already almost over. This year is just straight flew by. Who's the best? I heard a topic on one of the sports shows this morning that I was watching that said, who's the best receiver in the NFL right now? And they were talking about this because Cooper Kupp just broke the all-time franchise record for the Rams for, I think, most receptions, maybe most yards, too. And they were talking whether Cooper Kupp was the best receiver in the game right now. And of course, most of them didn't think that he was. Yeah, most of them don't. Most people didn't think that he was, but it brought up some interesting names, and I thought it was an interesting conversation. When I think of the best receiver in the league right now, I think of Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins. I think them are the 2 best receivers in the league right now. Julio was up there, but Julio is just not. Injuries have been killing him. Don't get me wrong, you have some other great receivers in the game. I think Jefferson's going to be one of the better receivers in the game. Jamar Chase. Got a lot of good receivers out there right now. I think Pittman for the Colts is going to be good. You got McLaren, it's good. Lockett. There's a lot of great receivers, but I think Adams and Hopkins are probably would be my two picks as the best receivers in the league right now. Just the things that Devontae Adams can do without really having a true number 2 receiver on that team is unbelievable. Because teams can scheme to just try to defend him with 2 or 3 guys, and somehow he still gets open and Rodgers gets him the ball. Because if you think about it, the Packers don't have a true number 2 receiver. They have Devontae Adams. That's their best receiver. Yes, Scantling's not too bad, but he'll drop some balls. Cobb is good, but he's not the same player that he was. Lazard is a good possession receiver, but he's not a guy that's demanding a double team. They don't have a true number 2 that a team has to worry about maybe trying to double team them as well. And Adams is still able to put up some of the best numbers in the league. To me, that's pretty impressive, and I would say he's probably the best receiver in the league right now. But then, Hopkins is right there too. Hopkins is because he's the same way. They have some good receivers there in Arizona, but he still finds a way when it's clutch time, games on the line. Adams and Hopkins find a way to get open and make a play, and that's what makes them 2 of the best receivers in the league. MVP. A lot of people are saying Aaron Rodgers for MVP. I think if the league ended now, he would be the guy that would get it. If Green Bay goes deep in the playoffs, he's probably going to get it. But to me, the MVP, and I might be a little biased because I am a big fan of this team, big fan of the Indianapolis Colts. I didn't set the room back up the other way, or you would see all the Colts stuff we have in this room. But I think Jonathan Taylor's the MVP of the league, especially if he finishes out these last 3 regular season games the way that he has been playing. He leads the league in rushing yards, yards from scrimmage. He's first or second in touchdowns. So if a non-quarterback gets it, it's going to be Taylor. And I think this is the year that a non-quarterback is going to get it, just because there's so much parity in the league. There's no one team that anybody can say that's the number 1 favorite to win the Super Bowl. There's so much parity in the NFL right now, which I think is great for the NFL because it makes every game mean more, because the fans are going to say, I got to watch this game because either team can win this game. Or all these playoff games are going to be great because any team could come through. one of the wild card teams could end up in the Super Bowl, which has happened in the past, yes. But this year, I think there's even a better chance of it. I mean, look how many teams in both the NFC and AFC that you have bunched up in the playoff picture that are trying to fight their way in. And then, like for the AFC example, for example, most people are going to say the Chiefs are the favorite again to come out of the AFC, but you can make a case for multiple teams, and you can make a great case for them being the team that comes out of the AFC. The Patriots are a good team that are capable of coming out of the AFC because their defense and their running game travels in the playoffs. Another team, the Indianapolis Colts, with Jonathan Taylor, you have a strong running game, a good defense. That stuff travels in the playoffs, where you might run into a game where the weather sucks and you can't throw the ball great. Buffalo has a team capable. The Ravens, when they're right, I mean, there's a lot of teams capable of going on a run that you can make a good argument that could make it to the Super Bowl, and people couldn't really laugh or try to put down your case. I think the Colts have a good chance of getting to the Super Bowl. If we can finish the season off strong here, get in the playoffs. Right now we're the 5th seed. I guarantee you there's not a team in the playoffs that want to play the Indianapolis Colts. We have a quarterback that's been playing good, who has been disrespected this season by a lot of the fucking media members. Everybody was all over Carson Wentz last year about how bad he played. He had the worst season that he ever had, and he did. And that the Eagles needed to move on, and they did. And then people were on the Colts, criticizing the Colts and trashing the Colts for bringing in Carson Wentz. But look what Carson Wentz is doing. He's having one of the best years of his career, and everybody's acting like, oh, it's all just Jonathan Taylor. No, Jonathan Taylor has been a big part of the Indianapolis Colts team, and he has carried the Colts here the last couple of weeks. But the Colts are not winning in spite of Carson Wentz. The Colts are winning because you have a good running game, and Carson Wentz is playing good football. He has a QBR of like 95.5, where last year I think his QBR was in the 40s. He has one of the top 3 QBRs that he's had in his career. He's thrown for 20-something touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. So he's probably going to finish the season with close to 30 touchdowns and hopefully single-digit interceptions. He's already thrown for over 3,000 yards. He's going to finish the season probably close to 4,000 yards. And people are acting like he's had a bad year. If you just took his stats for this year and you went to any NFL team and said, hey, you can have this quarterback and these are the numbers he's going to put up, you're telling me teams wouldn't take it? Yes, they would. But for some reason, and I'm not saying it's the NFL, but the national media are just, they're disrespecting Wentz. And I'm looking for Wentz to come up big here in the playoffs and really kind of change the narrative in the national media of him, because I don't understand why he's doing now hasn't changed the narrative of the national media. It doesn't make much sense why he still gets disrespected the way he does. I didn't understand. I thought Philadelphia had done him wrong by letting him go. You're talking about a dude that had been battling injuries, and yeah, you guys were losing games, but look at he was playing with practice squad players because your whole team was fucking hurt. And for some reason, he took the whole blame of that. But he's came to Indianapolis and he's played good. To me, he's turned his career around. If he can stay healthy, finish out this, and have a good playoffs, then he'll get a lot more respect, because he hasn't really got to play in the playoffs yet. Last time he was in the playoffs, he got hit, had a concussion, and Foles had to come in. I believe Foles won that game and then almost won the next game to get back to the NFC Championship. But I think Carson Wentz is going to have a good playoffs this year. I think the Colts are going to go on a deep run. But I think the parity in the NFL is a good thing for the NFL, because it gets more fans watching games just besides their favorite teams. You're going to get especially the diehard fan, but they're going to do that always. But you're going to get the casual fan that on the Thursday night when you have the Dolphins and the Eagles playing each other that are going to watch because they think it's going to be a good game and you don't know who's going to win. It's not like it's the Jets against the Patriots every Thursday night. And you know the Patriots are going to kick their ass back into the day. It's all these games are more. There's not many games that you can just guarantee the outcome of, or say, "Oh, this team's so much better than that team," and that this game's not going to be close because there's so much parity, and any team can beat any team can beat any other team at any time, and to me that's what makes the NFL so great is because anybody can win these games, and these games mean so much because there's only 17 of them in the season to try to get you to the playoffs. It's not like the NBA where there's 82 games or baseball where they play 160 something games. So some of the games really don't matter as much. Where in the NFL, it's like college football. Every game matters. And I think that's why the NFL is the number one sport in the country is because every game matters. And now it's even better because you have so much parity in the league. But before we get out of here for today, I'll give you guys out the picks I gave out today on Easy Money, a sports betting show. Make sure you check out Easy Money, a sports betting show, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo'S Sports Room. We're giving out winners. Come join us. In college basketball, I took IU minus 17.5. NBA, I like the Cavs plus 6 against the Celtics. I like the Orlando Magic and Atlanta Hawks over 215, over 211.5. I also like the Bulls minus 10 against the Raptors. The Oklahoma City Thunder plus 6.5 against the Nuggets. And then in college football, I like Army minus 6.5 against Missouri. That's the picks. My picks for today. Like I said, check out Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're giving out winners. Come join us. Please hit that. Please check out our YouTube page. Hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate that. The like buttons, follow buttons on YouTube or not on Facebook and Twitch. Hit the follow and the like buttons. On podcast, rate and review. YouTube, please hit that bell. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. We greatly appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a great holiday season. If you're traveling to go see family, be safe. I know this is the time of year where a lot of people are on vacation now. Just a couple of days away from Christmas Eve. It's hard to believe that this year's almost to an end already. Like I said, don't forget we have a big announcement coming up. A couple big announcements coming up about 2022 for the Gonzo'S Sports Room umbrella. Some big announcements for GWR, Gonzo'S Wrestling Room Pro Wrestling Show. Go check us out on YouTube at Gonzo'S Sports Room. We have about 30 interviews with independent pro wrestlers on there. 5 or 6 live shows that we've streamed and done live commentary at. We got a lot of UFC stuff on there. So go check that out, please. Hit that subscribe button and that bell for notifications. Also, check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports /merch. We have t-shirts, hats, hoodies, beanies. We had a new GWR shirt drop a couple weeks ago. We have a new Easy Money and a new GSR shirt getting ready to drop here right around the first of the year. So keep your eye out for that. You can find the link to our merch store in the video description, or it's also going across the bottom of the screen in the ticker. And one more time, that is streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports /merch. We appreciate everybody that hangs with us and that supports us. We will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. for Easy Money, a sports betting show. There is no GSR tomorrow on Thursday. We don't have no interview tomorrow for GWR Live. Our next interview for GWR Live will be on December 28th. So we have one next week after Christmas. And then I'm working on getting some more stuff scheduled. Like I said, I got some other things scheduled, but I can't talk about them right now. We'll talk about them Friday at 1 p.m. But join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern for Easy Money, a sports betting show. We'll see you guys tomorrow. If you're traveling, be safe. If we don't see you guys tomorrow at 11, we'll hopefully see you guys on Christmas Eve. We will still be doing both shows live Christmas Eve morning, 11 a.m. Easy Money and Sports Betting Show, GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room at 1 p.m. Both those shows are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And we will have some big announcements on GSR on Christmas Eve. Be safe. Enjoy your family over these holidays. Have a Merry Christmas. We will see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.